Okay, so we're about to do something new, which may never be done again, or may become a somewhat regular thing. This is a segment that doesn't have a name. Wow, did not think that far in advance.
I thought you had figured that part out and you were just going to surprise me with it. I didn't realize you hadn't actually thought of a name.
I haven't had the time to think of much. I have a new job.
You told me about this like 2 weeks ago.
I know, I've just been working. Okay, so in this segment that we'll figure out a name for, I or one of us comes up with a TV show or a movie title. And it doesn't matter if the person has seen the show or the movie. Like, that part's not important. The first step is that we figure out what the exact opposite of the title is. So if the title is something like up, then the opposite is down, right? And that's the new title that we're working with. And then we figure out, or to pitch the idea of what this show would be about. Make sense, Joseph?
Yeah, I mean, yes, I understand. It took me about the full 2 weeks, but I finally got it.
All right, so this episode?
Let's go with episode.
This episode, segment part, we are going to be dealing with the show titled Steven Universe.
You're hitting me deep. You're cutting deep.
This one's actually going to be difficult because we have to figure out what the opposite of Steven is, and the opposite of universe.
Let's see. Let's start with the easier part. Universe, right?
Probably, yeah.
Universe. The universe is everything, but it's only one everything, right? Because you could have multiverse or omniverse if you're Benjamin Tenjamin. So it's everything here. So we could go with, like, vacuum, right? Because that's what nothing is. Because I don't want to just be like nothing, right?
Yeah,
let's be fancier than that.
Yeah,
vacuum.
I feel like nothing is more the opposite of everything. I also was thinking maybe void, but also you could argue that the void is part of the universe. You know?
Yeah.
But yeah, like I think vacuum could be, yeah.
Okay, let's hold on to vacuum and void.
Okay, put a pin in them.
Maybe we could, let's just do both. Vacuum void.
Vacuum void.
Vacuum void. And now we just need a name. What's the opposite of Steven?
So is it going to be
Ctodd?
Why? What is the logic here?
Because odd is the opposite of even.
Oh man, that's pretty good. But like, what's the opposite of ST? Because we can't just take the opposite of half of the name.
That's a good point.
Saint?
Okay.
Saint? What's the opposite of saint, right? Because, like, doesn't ST also stand for saint?
Okay, yeah. Okay, so saint. So,
what's the opposite
is there like a
saint?
Count? Like, not literally, but like, you think about like a vampire. That's what I was thinking of, right? Like, vampires are like the opposite of holy things. And what are vampires? But they're usually called Count something. At least the ones where, like, they're allergic to Christianity. Those are ones that are usually called Count something, right?
Yeah. I feel like there's gotta be, like, a term for a person who's, like, the opposite of a saint. That isn't, like, devil or something like that. Maybe demon? But no, that would be angel.
But it's not really an honorific like saint would be.
Yeah, that's true.
I think Count is probably the best we're going to get for an evil honorific.
Yeah, I can't really think of anything else.
Okay, so we've got Ctodd.
Ctodd
Vacuum Void.
So should we, okay, since saint is spelled ST in this case, should we take count down to its, like, initial part, which would be, like, CT, right?
Is it CT?
I don't know. We can make it
Can you even do that?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Okay, but I mean, you would still call it Count, right?
Well, like, no, because it's not Saint even. It's Steven, right?
Okay, pronounce the two letters CT real quick for me, Dana. Okay, so stapler, odd.
Stapler?
That's the sound you made.
I know, well, it's Ctodd.
Ctodd? Ctodd, okay, I can go with Ctodd.
Ctodd Vacuumvoid.
Ctodd Vacuumvoid. So welcome to our new show, Ctodd Vacuumvoid.
Oh my god. This is great. So what is Ctodd Vacuumvoid about? Is Ctodd even a name?
Ctodd is his name. I think we have
her
to.
name.
We have to get her name.
Well, yeah, because Steven's
I'm
a
fine.
boy's name, so Ctodd has to be a girl's name.
Okay, I was just gonna say that Ctodd sounds an awful lot like Todd, but yeah, we can go with that.
But obviously, adding the feminine C in front makes it a girl's
also,
name.
I've seen Good Luck Charlie. We can we live in the 2019 times. I think it's probably fine.
2018. That was last
year. That would be last year. that doesn't work with this. That does not work with this year. I appreciate your energy. I appreciate your hustle. Not gonna work with 2019. Okay. So Ctodd is a vampire. I think we have to go with that because that's where the count comes from.
Yeah, I think
that's where the count came from.
Yeah.
I'm thinking like maybe though instead of like biting because like.
Is it Void Vacuum or Vacuumvoid?
Okay, here's the thing. Steven Universe is a show that is marketed for children but has surprisingly adult themes. So what we need is a show pitch that sounds adult but has surprisingly childish themes.
So like most shows that are on the air right now.
I agree with you. Stay in the bit with me though, Dana. Stay in the bit. Okay, so here's the thing. She's a vampire, right? And you think, oh, she's going to be murdering people all the time because that's the thing that most vampires do.
Uh-huh.
But instead, the way her vampire powers work are like Kirby, right? Where she just inhales really strong.
Yes.
And then blood comes. But just like blood energy, not like actual blood, right?
Yeah, sure. Like we'll deal with this like pretty kind of modern sort of idea of the psychic vampire, right? Like, have you heard of that? Like, is that, like you just get kind of tired. Around. Yeah, you just get tired. Maybe you like pass
you're fine.
Out, but you're fine.
You're just fine. You just take a nap and you're fine. Maybe eat a hamburger.
You might feel a little sad, like you're drained, energetically drained.
Yeah, but like you're fine. It won't.
Yeah, you eat a sandwich and you're fine.
You eat a sandwich. Okay, so
is she a superhero?
I don't know. I think she's from space.
I think that's a fair assumption. I think all vampires are from space.
We need Void to factor in somewhere. So she lives in space, which is the opposite of Steven Universe, because he lives on Earth, but then lots of space things happen to him. So instead, Ctodd Vacuumvoid lives in space, but has a lot of Earth things. So this is her
full name, yeah? Like, this isn't just like... This is her full name. Just like Steven Universe's name is Steven Universe. Ctodd Vacuumvoid's name is Ctodd Vacuumvoid.
Right. Because, like, like how, like, the opposite of... You would say, like, the opposite of white is black, but they're both colors, right?
Sure. Yeah. Okay.
It's sort of like that.
I'm good with this.
Okay. So Ctodd Vacuumvoid lives in space. Earth things happen to. So she's got to have, like... So, like, astronauts are coming up. And she's hanging out with them. Maybe on, like, a space station. So, like, she doesn't live in the space station. She just lives around the space station.
Lives on the space station.
Yeah, she lives on... There's, like, a space station, and then there's just, like, a wooden house on the space station.
Wooden. Yes, of course.
Yeah.
The most bountiful of materials in space.
I just wanted it to look out of place.
You know what it should be made out of is cheese. I
hear there's a lot of cheese. Took a stop by the moon?
Yeah.
There's not a lot of cheese in space, which was what you were about to say.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of cheese in space.
Where? Aside from the moon?
What do you mean aside from the moon?
Okay, is the moon in space?
Yes.
Because...
Is the moon outside of the Earth's atmosphere?
Okay, but that would say that things on Earth aren't in space.
What?
Is dirt in space?
Earth is in space. So yes.
Right, but is dirt in space?
If you throw it out of the Earth's atmosphere,
is dirt
then yes.
on the Earth in space?
Indirectly.
I think you're changing. I think you're speaking untruthfully so that you can be correct in this thing. But fine, her house is made out of cheese. And I guess we live in the future year where people can come visit the space station. Maybe it's like a space museum.
Yeah.
So, like, people... So, that way we could have, like, kids visiting a lot.
Because we're also in a time when people are not surprised that there is a house made of cheese on the space station.
Right. So, it's a space museum, and she's a vampire who lives on top of the space museum.
A psychic vampire.
A psychic vampire, and all the kids come in, and other people, too, and they interact, and it's hilarious. And like at first the show starts out really deep, but then like in the finale it's just all fart jokes.
Yeah.
All fart jokes.
Yeah.
It gets more and more childish as time goes on.
Yeah. Like
I don't know if vampires are like Benjamin Button, but maybe they are in this universe, which explains why it gets more and more childish.
It starts with, like, super dramatic, like, she's battling with the fact that maybe once she killed someone, and then by the end of the episode, it's basically SpongeBob. But in space.
But, like, new SpongeBob. Not even old SpongeBob, where it was, like, there were definitely funny parts, even though it was immature. New SpongeBob is just, like, immature, and that's the whole thing.
Like, new SpongeBob, written by the people
as someone
who
hasn't
believe that children are idiots.
I haven't actually watched a new episode of SpongeBob in a million years.
Me neither.
So we're kind of just making stuff up. But I think we've got a pretty good pitch for our show. We'll take it to Hollywood, because that's where you take television shows, of course, obviously. And
or Atlanta these days.
Yeah.
So we don't have that far to go.
Stop by Turner.
I don't have that far. Yeah.
Stop by Turner after the podcast, Dana, and get on that.
It is, I think they're closed, but maybe tomorrow.
Tomorrow would also be after the podcast.
You know
Daniel.
what? That's true. I have a really long time to do this.
Yeah, make sure you write the pitch down. Or just play them this segment of the podcast.
Yeah, exactly. I don't have to write it down. We recorded it.